Stop letting yourself off the hook and crush your goals as neurodivergent. I've got 10 easy steps for you to stop letting yourself off the hook and start crushing those goals as an ADHD or autistic parent. Let's get into it. What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Coach Bruce, and I am a life coach for ADHD parents. And I've got 10 steps outlined for you that are going to help you change the way that you face goals because you are not the same as neurotypicals. We've been taught all of our lives that there's a specific way to tackle goals. You set high goals and you go after them and everything's going to be just fine. We are not the same as them. We need a completely different formula for setting and achieving goals. And I've got 10 steps that are going to help you start doing that. Step one, you're going to stop comparing yourself to those basic goals that neurotypicals go after because our brains work differently. They are able to push through certain things in certain situations that are going to be much, much harder for us. So we just need to just forget them and focus directly on us and what's important to us. So we're going to do that by step two. We're going to identify what is actually important to us. We're going to do some searching inside your soul and really rectify what is actually important to you versus what you've been conditioned to prioritize. That is not the same thing. What you're actually wanting for yourself in your life should come from what you authentically care about, not what you just do because it's what you've always done and because what other people want you to do. That is not going to achieve results for you as an ADHD parent. It's just not going to work for you. You can force yourself only so long. But if you are really trying to get yourself to align with your goals and embrace them, they need to come from your heart and align with your being. So how we're going to do that also by defining your core values and beliefs. That is the next step after you've kind of done that self-searching and kind of figured out what's important to you. You have to actually define it. You have to really get granular and decide what those things really are and give them shape and form. And then you're going to go to step 4 and you're going to write them down. This is a mark of the ADHD brain that we want to think that we can just kick everything's ass and we can do it all from up here. We need structure, even though we hate structure. This is the key to this whole thing, is you have to hack your brain and write things down, like write this down specifically. I don't care what else you write down right now, but you need to write down your core values and beliefs. Otherwise, when the stress hits, when you start to get to the point where you want to quit, you are not going to remember what is important to you because you don't have your core values and beliefs written down. We are ADHD people. We are definitely going to forget things whenever stress happens. It's how our brains work. We stop being able to access parts of our brains when the stress comes. That's why the more stressed you are, the more ADHD you feel, because as that stress starts to bear down on our brain, the ADHD symptoms kick up. So if you write it down, whenever you're having a very stressful morning, stressful day, whatever, you can still refer to those things and you can say, okay, this is still what's important to me, even though my brain is trying to make me forget it. My brain's trying to make deals with my comfort level and with the stress to make it feel like I'm not being crushed by that pressure, when all actuality, it's going to just make you feel more crushed by that pressure because you've not moved towards your goals at all. If you are able to look at a separate document that has those goals that you wrote, they're what's important to you, and you know that, you can't forget what's in your hands and what you're looking at. So that's going to help you whenever that stress starts to kick in and tries to tell you it's not important. So after you've written them down, now you're going to forget everything. This is step 5. Forget everything you ever heard about goal setting. That stuff is not for neurodivergents. It just isn't. All of your cliche goal setting sayings, they're not for you. They're not for me. We are not neurotypicals. They are very different. You need to forget all of that stuff. And you need to accept a different framework for how you set goals. It's not that you can't complete goals. It's not that you can't ever get anything done. It's not that you can't grow and progress. That you have the capability to do everything that neurotypicals do. You are just going to need to do it differently to leverage your strengths and minimize your weaknesses through this process. So just forget all that stuff. You're going to then step 6, you're going to set broadly specific goals. They are broadly specific. I know that's an oxymoron, but they are broad enough to where you are able to change strategies when necessary, but they're specific enough to where they can be measured and you can tell that you are moving closer to your goals. So broadly specific goals, stuff like I would like to eat healthier. I know that sounds really vague to our neurotypical, but we're not them. It's okay to think, I just want to eat healthier, because that's what's going to help us make better decisions and not be so hard on ourselves when we don't do every exact step. It's not all or nothing. It is not all or nothing. So, and I'm going to talk about that more in a second. So then those broadly specific goals are going to be actually based on your core values and beliefs. These are not based on what other people want for you. If you are happy with your body, you should not set a goal to lose 30 pounds because that's what society tells you is good. Or that's what your mother, who has always kind of been vain, tells you that you need to do. If you're happy with your body, you should be happy with your body and set goals to maintain a better degree of health, to eat healthier because you want to live longer and have, lower cholesterol, whatever. You don't need to lose weight because that's what's important to somebody else. Those kinds of goals are what make us crash and burn and be unhappy the entire time that we are trying to achieve those goals, because the process is not, we're not invested in the process at all because it's not actually important to us. So step 7, you're going to adjust your expectations. This is a big one. We are different. We are not going to achieve the same things in the same amount of time as neurotypicals. Neurotypicals can have that conversation with each other. Neurodivergents can have that conversation with each other, but it's going to be in support and it's still going to be very, very different. I'm going to get something done in a completely different amount of time than another neurodivergent because I've got a strong facet of being hyper-focused in the stuff that interests me. So if you aren't like big into turning your hyper-focus into a leverage tool, then it's going to take you longer. But if you are a person who's able to utilize that, you may be way faster than me at accomplishing things. It doesn't matter what it takes somebody else to do. You need to adjust your expectations for you to realize that you just need to move towards the thing that you want. Not every goal needs to be all or nothing. Not every goal needs to get you all the way to the point where you want to be, because that's unrealistic. It's important to have goals, especially as ADHD people. And this is why this is really important for ADHD people, because we have a persistent negative dialogue always going on in our head when we're messing up. So if you are constantly setting high goals and missing them, you're just piling on and beating yourself up to the point where you never want to set goals anymore because you feel like you can't ever achieve them. So you're adjusting your expectations and you are going to set goals that are actually reasonable. They're not like, I need to get all the way there or I need to stop all of this thing. They need to be reasonable and they need to be adjustable, broadly specific. Then step 8, you're going to rig the game in your favor. Lower the bar. You're going to just start low. It is okay. Don't worry about what other people will think about your goals. They are for you. And the more confidence you build by setting low goals and by having a lower bar is going to give you confidence. And as that confidence builds, even your low bar is going to be higher, and it's going to be higher. And then you're going to be more comfortable just with the whole goal setting process and with achieving those goals. You're going to have muscle memory of what it feels like to win. That negative voice in your head is going to start sounding stupid. You're going to realize, well, no, I've done plenty of goals now. I know that I can achieve things, even though that little voice in my head tells me I can't. I know that it's a liar. And that comes from experience. That comes from building confidence. That comes from gaining wins. And you can create those for yourself by setting a low bar and just accomplishing the goal. So once again, step 8 was once again rig the game in your favor and lower the bar. Step 9, Now write the goals down. This is really, really important. You have to write this stuff down because we, as ADHD people, love to forget the thing that we committed to yesterday, committed to 2 hours ago, committed to last month. They go away just because they're out of sight. So you need to write them down and post them where you're going to see them at least every day. Put them on your bathroom mirror, put them on your computer. If you're a person who works at the computer, put them on your door on the way out. Put them everywhere you need to put them. Put them on your phone home screen, so you're reminded that these things were important to you and these are goals you wanted to achieve. It's easy to forget, but it's also just as easy to remember yourself. I'm sorry, it's just easy to remind yourself. So do it. Create those reminders because you want to achieve these things. So why not remind yourself and further assist yourself towards achieving those things? All right, step 10, last step, resist the temptation to change the goal before you achieve it. This is a difficult one because if you're crushing it, you're moving along towards this goal and you're like, I'm going to finish this in half the time I'd given myself. It's going to be really easy to want to change the goal and then end up falling short of your new goal and feeling like a failure whenever you could have just finished that goal all the way through and felt that achievement, gotten those mental reps of achieving the goal. That's what it's about. It's about achieving goals and getting confidence that you can do it. Changing that conversation in your head to I can't ever finish a goal to I've finished multiple goals. I finish goals all the time. I am a goal setter and a goal crusher. Those are the kinds of conversations that allow you to go after your big dreams. But first you need the confidence to crush your small ones. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's not change it whenever we start to get close and say I can do better. Finish the goal first and then set another one. You're still just as close to that same thing. Just finish the goal, get there, and then set a new goal and keep moving towards that bigger thing that you wanted because they should be chunks. You should be setting your goals in chunks to get the big thing that you want. And even then, it shouldn't be about getting there. It should be about maintaining and growing and continuing to get better at whatever we're trying to do. So the last thing you have to do is just see yourself crushing goals now. If you're doing these 10 steps, you will start to crush goals. It's simple because you are setting goals low enough to where you have there's no choice but to get them. If you're not getting the first ones you set, then set a lower goal. Set one so low that it's a 10-minute goal and you can finish it within the time you watch a video. That's fine. That is all it takes to get started. You need the fuel to go the distance, and that giving yourself those small wins puts gas in the tank. That's all you need. That is all I'm going into today. I hope that those 10 steps help you because they absolutely do work. So go out, crush your goals, do something. I want to say do something big, but I don't mean big. I mean do something that is big for you. Make a change in the right direction. Start working towards your goals. Even if you make one step towards a goal that's important to you, that is good enough. That is progress. That is growth. And that is not something to be scoffed at. That is you working to earn the life you deserve. Go get it. Be yourself. Love yourself. That is all for me today. I will see you tomorrow.